I mean, they've clearly got a problem there, haven't they, in their own corporate development, haven't they? I mean, if they are doing it from a place of unconscious bias, that's going to obviously be permeating through their relationships with other people in their organization, and therefore, they're not going to be making the best use of their talent, are they?
Yeah, of course. And also, I could be the best thing since sliced bread, right? But they're never going to find out, right?
No, ask you the questions.
Exactly. So, and you're right. These conversations happen internally, and it is unconscious when it happens. And like I say, it doesn't happen to me that much, but when it does happen, you remember. That's why I've got all those gates, the different tender gate, Rizzler gate, coffee gate. There's so many of them. Party trick gate, because you can't. I'm embarrassed because, like I said, and I'm not being an apologist or I've got no one to say this for. This is the most inclusive place on earth. It is. This is, right? I get about, I've traveled, right? This is the most inclusive place on earth. So, in most cases, in fact, people think I'm being over optimistic when I say this, but I think 98% of the time, when you're on the receiving end of some kind of bias-related microaggression, it's unconscious. In fact, I was giving this story the other day. Somebody accused me of being an apologist for thoughtless comments. But here's my point. Thoughtless. That's the point. The person isn't coming from a place of rational thought, rational discernment. They're just coming from a conditioned place. And how would they know they're coming from a conditioned place if you don't call it out? But then the other side of it is true. The reverse bias side of it is true. Sometimes we can just be paranoid. Sometimes we could just be rubbish at our job. And and what you're perceiving as some degree of bias is just the guy thinking, no, you're rubbish. You're crap. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. You're not good at your job, right? So the person, the manager has to call it out. Because if they don't call it out, then this person is going to think that everybody is biased towards them. And never the twain shall meet. So we have to equip people with the skills. And it's a skill. Make no bones about it. It's an interpersonal skill. You have to equip them with the skills. And you have to equip them with the rationale as to why it works. Which obviously I can't do in a talk like this. It's a bit longer. But you need to equip them with the rationale. They buy into it, and whenever they're confronted with this, they use it. And what happens? It's a self-correcting mechanism. The mechanism allows you to correct this issue, and it starts to dissipate bias as a problem. And it's not going to dissipate all bias completely, but let's face it. What do people talk about when they're talking about unconscious bias? They talk about, this person said that thing to me. I didn't get this opportunity. This happened. That didn't happen. And, it's one element, but it's an element which is extremely important.